Hello, everyone. My name is Audrey Crawford, and I am 32 years old. Looking back at everything now, it is really hard for me to believe how much a person's life can change in just a few short months. 2 months ago, my life was very different. On a night that was supposed to be about saying thank you and being with family, my whole world turned upside down and changed forever. It was Thanksgiving night, a time when most people feel warm and happy. I was standing in a large room filled with 30 of my relatives. These were people who have known me since I was a little girl, people I thought were my support system. In front of every single one of them, my parents did something I will never be able to forget. They called my sister, Vivian, to the front of the room. They handed her a beautiful, heavy, and very expensive-looking envelope. Inside that envelope was a $13,000 cruise package for a luxury trip. Then they turned their eyes toward me. My mother had a smile on her face, but it did not feel kind or warm at all. She reached into her pocket and handed me a tiny, crumpled piece of paper that looked like trash. It was a $2 lottery ticket. My mother's voice was very loud and clear, and it reached every single corner of that big dining room. She told everyone that this tiny ticket was the only thing that really fit my life and my situation. Then, everyone started to laugh. It was a cold, sharp sound that made my heart feel very heavy and sad. They did not know that this tiny, wrinkled piece of paper was about to change everything I thought I knew about my world. $100 million changes your life in big ways, but it does not just change the amount of money in your bank account. It changes how you see the people you love and who you can really trust. Before I tell you the rest of what happened, I want to say how much I appreciate you being here to listen. It is so wonderful to share these moments with people all over the world. It makes me feel like we are all connected, no matter where we are or what time it is where you live. Now, let me take you back to that very chilly Thanksgiving night when everything first started to fall apart. For the Crawford family, Thanksgiving was not a cozy or sweet holiday like the ones you might see in the movies. It felt more like a play on a stage where every person had to act out a very specific part. I arrived at my parents' house at exactly 5 o'clock in the evening. I wanted to be as helpful and kind as I could be, so I brought a big salad I had made myself and a bunch of flowers I had grown in my own garden. These were dahlias, and they were a deep, beautiful red color. I had spent 3 whole months taking care of them, watering them, and making sure they grew just right. I was so proud of them, but when my mother opened the front door, she did not even look at my face. She just looked down at the flowers and made a mean comment about me still playing with dirt and plants. Before I could even say a word back to her, my sister Vivian arrived. The way my mother acted changed in a split second. She rushed right past me and started shouting about how beautiful Vivian looked and how much she had missed her. It had only been 2 weeks since they had seen each other, but you would think it had been years. I just stood there in the doorway, still holding my red flowers, feeling like I was completely invisible to my own family. Inside the house, it was loud and full of people. My father was sitting in his favorite chair, talking to my brother-in-law, Marcus. He did not even get up to say hello to me. He just gave me a quick little nod and told me to go into the kitchen to help with the food. It was very clear that I was there to do the work, while everyone else was there to have a party. Marcus was telling big stories about his business deals and how much money he was making. Everyone was listening to him like he was some kind of hero. I always had a feeling that Marcus was not being honest about his life, but I did not have any proof to show anyone. To them, I was just a quiet girl who worked in gardens. Later on, while I was setting the big table, all by myself, my mother introduced me to a cousin I had not seen in a long time. She told him I was her younger daughter who did gardening for a living. I tried to explain that I am actually a landscape architect. That means I design big, beautiful green spaces and parks for large office buildings. But she just brushed my words away like they did not matter at all. I decided to just stay quiet and keep working because I knew that some arguments are just not worth having on a holiday. A little while later, I went to the kitchen to refill the water pitcher. I noticed that the kitchen door was open just a tiny bit. I could hear my parents and Vivian talking inside in that very quiet, whispering way people use when they are sharing big secrets. My mother was talking about a special cruise. She was planning a 2-week trip to the islands in the warm Caribbean Sea for the whole family. She mentioned Mom, Dad, Vivian, Marcus, the kids, and even my grandmother. When I heard that, my heart felt like it stopped beating for a second. My sister asked if I was coming, but she said it in a way that made it sound like she had almost forgotten I existed. My father's answer was even more hurtful than I expected. He told them that I was way too busy with my little work projects, and that a trip like that was way too expensive for someone like me. He said they did not even want to bother me with the invitation. They never even asked me if I wanted to go. They just sat there and decided all on their own that I did not belong with the rest of the family. I could not stay quiet anymore. I pushed the kitchen door open and told them right then that I knew I was not invited. The whole room went completely silent. My mother's smile became very tight and fake, and my father suddenly acted like he was very busy looking at his cup of coffee. They tried to make it sound like the trip was just a special reward for Marcus getting a promotion at work. They told me I wouldn't even be interested anyway, because I am so independent. In my family, they used the word independent to mean I was an outsider who did not fit in